Welcome to Odu TV, your gateway to the world of news, entertainment, and inspiration. Engage with us for thought-provoking discussions. Recently, the skies over the Middle East were engulfed in a tempest of metal and flame, a scene not witnessed in a long time, indicating a significant uptick in aggression between two age-old adversaries. Iran, renowned for its profound history and unwavering pursuit of its national interests, had elected to deliver a potent counterstrike to an attack, an assault initiated by none other than Israel, a state that has long been considered Iran's arch-enemy. Iran's retort took the form of over 200 missiles and drones raining down on Israel with a ferocity that was both shocking and horrifying. This fiery exchange was provoked by an Israeli assault on an Iranian embassy complex in Syria, an action that was daring and unforeseen. The Israeli offensive was perceived by many as a direct affront to Iran's sovereignty and a definitive sign of its resolution to safeguard its interests. Rather than intimidating Iran, this act merely fanned the flames of hostility, causing Iran's unprecedented retaliation. The magnitude and ferocity of this confrontation, unseen for years, have resonated globally. Governments, diplomats, and ordinary citizens watched in astonishment and trepidation as the sky was lit up by the horrifying spectacle of warfare. The aftermath of this event is far from concluded, with many forecasting further escalation in the days to come. This unnerving increase in aggression has sent waves of anxiety worldwide. This is brought to you by your trusted source, BBC World News. Israel, a nation well versed in the language of conflict, responded swiftly. Nestled amidst geopolitical complexities, the country has always been a focal point of strife and tension. The threat was airborne, a storm of missiles piercing the evening sky, but this was no surprise. Israel, having often braced for such daylight threats, was quick on the uptake. The country's advanced defense systems, meticulously designed over decades, sprang into action. They intercepted an alarmingly high number of these inbound threats. Each successful interception was a testament to Israel's technological prowess and strategic foresight. The fortitude of the defense systems ensured that there were no reported injuries, a minor triumph amidst a sky smeared with the smoke of conflict. However, the sheer volume and severity of the attack were unsettling. It compelled Israel to take drastic measures to safeguard its citizens. The skies were sealed temporarily as the country initiated an immediate upgrade to its defense systems, a clear sign of the raised stakes in this volatile situation. In the face of aggression, allies rally. The United States, a long-time and consistent ally of Israel, has never been one to shy away from expressing its unwavering, relentless support for the nation's security. Over the years, this support has only deepened and strengthened, a true testament to the lasting bond shared between the two nations. The U.S. has always stood for its commitment, its promise to ensure the security and sovereignty of Israel. This commitment is not just in words, but also in action. In the most recent testament to its pledge, the United States actively backed its verbal assertion with a definitive action, an action that truly speaks louder than words. It additional military assets to the region. This strategic move was not just a symbol, but a tangible representation of the seriousness with which the United States perceives the situation. The deployment was strategic, comprehensive, and well planned. It was a clear indication of the US's unwavering stance on the issue. The added assets do not just represent additional strength, but also a reassurance of constant backing, a move that indeed underscores the seriousness of the situation. It serves as a powerful reminder that in the face of aggression, the United States stands firm, ready to take action to protect its allies. Yet, every action has a reaction, and Iran's response was a stark warning. This warning wasn't an idle threat, but a very real possibility of a devastating trajectory if the situation wasn't handled with the utmost care. It was a response that echoed hauntingly through the international community, reminding everyone of the delicacy and volatility of global politics. Indeed, Iran's warning was a clear indication that they would not be pushed around, a fierce counter to the aggressive measures that had been thrown their way. It was a signal to the world that Iran would not be bullied by any country, no matter how powerful. The statement rang out like a bell tolling, alerting the world to the potential for disaster. In the midst of the tension, Iran's cautionary advice was seen as a beacon of reality. It was a sobering wake-up call to the very real dangers of a world on the brink of conflict. It was a message that this was not a game. This was not a situation that could be brushed under the rug and forgotten. Instead, it was a moment of truth, a moment in which the world would need to assess its priorities and determine whether it was willing to risk its future on the shaky ground of conflict. And the message was clear: if provoked further, the outcome could be disastrous. This grim warning served as an urgent reminder of the importance of diplomacy in this delicate situation. It highlighted the necessity for compromise, for open dialogue, for understanding, and for mutual respect. It was a reminder that escalating would only serve to push us further to the brink, a place none of us want to be. It was Iran's response, a statement that promises a chilling future if compromise and diplomacy do not prevail, a reminder of the potential future escalation, a warning to the world that we all need to think twice before allowing aggression to dictate our actions, a chilling prophecy of what could be if the world fails to heed its warning. The international community, ever watchful, did not remain silent. Across the globe, nations raised their voices in concern. From east to west, north to south, the echoes of disapproval resonated. Iran's actions were met with condemnation, sparking a demand for de-escalation. Countries big and small fervently advocated for peace, hoping to avert a potential regional conflict that could have far-reaching detrimental consequences. Amid the flurry of diplomatic negotiations and emergency meetings, an undercurrent of hope prevailed. The world watches and waits, hoping for a return to dialogue and peace. In summary, the recent missile and drone attack by Iran on Israel, a retaliatory move following an Israeli strike on an Iranian embassy in Syria, has initiated a dangerous and palpable dance of power and provocation. This development is not just another episode in the long, tumultuous history of the Middle East. Instead, it accelerates the tensions, stretching the thin line of diplomatic negotiation to its very limits. Israel's swift response in intercepting the threats and the immediate closure of its airspace offer a chilling insight into the severity of the situation. The nation, known for its advanced defense systems like the Iron Dome, was quick to show its readiness for any impending escalation. This immediate retaliation is indicative of the fact that the nation is on high alert, ready to protect its sovereignty at any cost. The United States, a longtime ally of Israel, did not remain an uninvolved observer. Instead, it openly pledged its support for Israel, announcing additional military deployments to the region. This act underscores the mounting tension, adding yet another layer of complication to the already intricate geopolitical chessboard of the Middle East. Iran, however, did not remain silent. In response to the joint show of force by Israel and the United States, Iran warned of further escalation. This warning, shrouded in the undertones of ominous threats and potential large-scale conflict, adds a foreboding note to the unfolding situation. It's a stark reminder of the high stakes involved in this delicate power balance and the potential for things to spiral out of control. In this evolving scenario, various nations and international bodies are calling for de-escalation. They are urging for diplomatic talks to replace the rhetoric of war, yet the road to peace seems steep and arduous. As the world watches this volatile situation, it is torn between hopeful anticipation and fear of an escalating conflict. In conclusion, as various nations call for de-escalation, the world holds its breath, watching the unfolding drama in the Middle East. Good evening, this is Alex Thompson, reporting live from Global News Network. The escalating situation in the Middle East continues to dominate headlines around the world. As we have been reporting, the recent exchange of threats and missile attacks between Iran and Israel is raising concerns of a potential large-scale conflict. In response to an Israeli strike on an Iranian embassy in Syria, Iran launched a missile and drone attack on Israel. Israel, known for its advanced defense systems, was quick to intercept these threats and immediately closed its airspace. This swift response is indicative of a nation on high alert, ready to protect its sovereignty at all costs. The United States, a longtime ally of Israel, has openly pledged its support, announcing additional military deployments to the region. This move has further escalated the tension, adding another layer of complexity to the already intricate geopolitical chessboard of the Middle East. In response, Iran has warned of further escalation, threatening a potential large-scale conflict. This ominous warning is a stark reminder of the high stakes involved and the potential for things to spiral out of control. Various nations and international bodies are calling for de-escalation and diplomatic talks to replace the rhetoric of war. The road to peace, however, appears steep and arduous. As the world watches this volatile situation, it is torn between hopeful anticipation and fear of an escalating conflict.